Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to invite and then sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
One of these lights down here would be better.
Corey, is this the real deal you're signing today, or have you already signed officially?
Yeah, I've already signed.
Already signed? It seems that's the way most people go, and then they sign.
Yeah.
They sign one that's kind of like a you keep it yourself type
Yeah,
of thing.
they want us to do it at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I'll turn that back on. Yeah.
I'm not that hard, dude. How's this going?
You guys ready? Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Just to double check, can you guys all hear us all right at home? Yeah, good. All right, so first of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming here for Corey's signing for Western Michigan. Obviously, this is a great moment for our program, but more importantly for Corey and his family. I know this means a lot to him, so I appreciate all of you guys being here to support him in this new adventure that he's going to be starting on soon. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about Corey a little bit, some of the things he's done for our program, and then I'm going to have Corey talk and do his thank yous, and then I think Dr. Walker is going to have a few things to say as well. So first thing I want to kind of do is just talk about just statistically what Corey's brought to our program. Corey's been a starter for us at tight end for since sophomore year, junior year. You know, obviously we're hopeful that he'll be a starter for it again this year if we get a chance. But the 2 years that we've had with him so far, he's had 29 catches, 228 yards, and 6 touchdowns over 2 years, his sophomore, junior year. Interesting statistic about that is in 6 out of the 7 games that Corey played this year, he had a touchdown. All right, and I think that just speaks to how valuable he was to our program in the sense that we knew we had to get him the ball in tight situations. Outside of the statistics from football, he was all academic, all state last year as a junior. Had a 4.9 GPA out of a 5, which is impressive. You know, obviously there's a stereotype with football. You know, maybe they're not the greatest students, whatever it may be, but we try to break that trend as much as we can. And Corey absolutely just dominated in the classroom just like he does on the football field for us. First team all-conference for us this past year. But the statistics don't really cover the story with Corey. As many of you guys know, he was hurt in our first game this year, and he showed true toughness and being able to get back in about 3 weeks in order to play with us again for probably one of our biggest games of the year, I'd say. And I think everyone would probably agree. I don't know if we necessarily dominate that game if we don't have the big guy playing with us that game. All right, that's how valuable he was to what we were doing from a week-to-week basis. That gets into the work ethic that he showed, right? Obviously, we have great trainers here, but Corey pushed himself every day to get back and help his team. And I think his work ethic has shown even more so from last year over this offseason. Obviously, we've been dealing with a lot of challenging times over these past 9 months. And I think Corey is a prime example of how you go about dominating your offseason when you're under some tough situations. Sacrificing his sleep in order to get up and get a workout in. Sacrificing his extra time where kids are maybe playing video games and doing things like that to go travel up to Chicago to get some drill work. All right, that type of work ethic is what sets him apart, in my opinion. And I think that type of work ethic is what has caught some of the coaches at Western Michigan's eyes. All right, obviously outside of the 6'7", 240 pounds that comes along with him. But it doesn't end there. He's a multi-sport kid, playing basketball, playing football, in the weight room all the time. So he's not only lifting with somebody else He's supplementing there. He's coming to our program and he's lifting with us as well, being a leader for our football team. All right? And I think that's exactly why his teammates chose him to be a captain for this 2020 season, which is going to be a spring 2020 season, obviously. So, outside of the work ethic on the football field, outside of the work ethic in the weight room, traveling up to Chicago, like I touched on before, it takes a lot of hard work to have the grades that he has. And I think that kind of goes unnoticed. It's difficult, especially right now, these past 9 months. It takes a lot of effort in order to maintain your grades, and it says a lot about your character when you're able to do those types of things. It's tough right now, and I think Corey is just a prime example of what it takes in order to be successful right now. Last thing I want to touch on here, his leadership over the past 9 months, especially. His leadership, even as a sophomore, was invaluable to our football team, our football program. His ability to step in as a sophomore and understand what we were doing and help be a leader on the football field our sophomore year, where we had a good run to the quarterfinals, he was a monumental part of that. Statistically, it may not show up, but in all the little things that he does, that's what it takes to be a leader. He's unselfish. He works hard. He goes about his business. He learns multiple positions. He learns how to play like a lineman. He learned how to play as a tight end. He was learning how to be a defensive end. All those different types of things are what leaders do. And I think Corey has exemplified that over the past 9 months and moving into his sophomore year as well. Last thing I'm going to say about leadership, and I'm partial because I was a tight end myself and a defensive end, but he's way better than I would ever even thought about being. But being a tight end, there's things that you're asked to do sometimes by your coach. You're asked to, block on a certain play where you want to go out and catch passes. All right, you think you probably got the best hands. I know I did. I know he probably thinks he's got the best hands too. But sometimes you got to do what's best for the football team. And he never argued with that one bit. He never talked back about it. He was just like, yeah, I'll do whatever need to do for the team. Okay? And you don't get that very often. All right? And so it takes a special type of player to sacrifice like that and be unselfish. And, that was one of the things that I felt like as a leader, it really showed what he's capable of because he's going to put the team first and not his individual accomplishments. And so I'm thankful that Western Michigan picked up on him because, in my opinion, obviously the statistics, from the defensive side or offensive side, that they are what they are. But I think they got a diamond in the rough with Corey. I feel like he's got untapped potential, and I really feel like he's going to be a monster for him moving forward. And I'm extremely excited about this opportunity. I know his family's excited. Corey's got a great opportunity to go up to school with his brother, which I know is important to him and his family. And I just think it's a great opportunity, a great spot for him to succeed. So I want to congratulate him.
Thanks, Coach.
Excited for you, man. You're up.
Pulled up my notes real quick.
I want to stand up. Make sure you project.
Stand up. Alright, so first I'd like to thank all my coaches I've ever had as a whole growing up. I will never forget all the time and effort you put in making me a better athlete and a better person. Next, I would like to start with Coach Fincham. Coach Fincham was always one of my main coaches at West, so I appreciate since the freshman year all the time he spent making me a better player on the field throughout the whole recruiting process and making me a better person overall, so thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Coach Hofferman, for pushing me on the basketball court, and he's definitely one of the coaches that pushed me the most mentally, so I appreciate you making me a better person. Coach Hess, since it was 7th grade year for getting me into the program early and bringing me to lifting. Appreciate it. And also being a good coach now, too. Let's see. Next, I'd like to thank Austin Curtis and everyone at the lab for really making me a better athlete. Thank you, Coach Antoine, for being my trainer and mentor since kindergarten, since I really couldn't remember. I'd like to personally thank Colleen for being the best athletic trainer I could ask for, especially coming off a big injury. You guys made that process, that terrible process, way better than it could have been. Let's see. Next, I'd like to thank all my teammates that are on here. Specifically the senior class. I would have never thought I'd get so close to such a large group of people, but I did. We were truly a family, and I want to thank you guys for pushing me every day. I also want to say thank you to all the top athletes in town that I've gotten real close to over quarantine. You guys motivate me because I know a good amount of you guys should be here with me today and going places, but sadly our area is underlooked with recruiting. It's one of my goals to go as far as I can and try to gain respect from coaches and make them realize all the talent they're missing from my area. Next, I'd like to thank all my close friends I've had for a long time now. I love you guys, and thank you guys for always being there for me. HMB, so I die. Next, I'd like to thank my grandma for always being there, being my hero since I could remember. I'll never forget all the time we spent together in car rides, going to basketball games, playing cards, and overall just making me a happier person. I love you. I want to thank my brother and sister, Jordan and Maya, for being my biggest influences in my life. I don't know what I'd be without you guys. I really appreciate and love you guys. Next, I'd like to thank my mom for dealing with me for all my troubles for 17 years now. I can't say enough, obviously. Thank you for everything you've done, whether it be cooking your amazing meals, taking me to the thousands, probably tens of thousands of practices every day with our dog, and what else? And always making sure I was good mentally. I love you most. I'm a mama's boy. Last but not least, I would like to thank my father. I want to apologize for all the times I felt like I was ungrateful for you. I now realize everything you've ever done was to better me, whether it be all the times you had motivated me in the classroom, all the time we spent going to camps and visits, and all the time we spent in the gym and on the field. I love you. And also, thank you, Coach Denham, for really believing in me and treating me like family. And I'm really excited for the next 4 or 5 years. And yeah, that's it. Simon, you talk first?
All right, Corey's a tough act to follow. He really covered everything. And so I wanted to say a few things, you know. This is kind of different for me because usually I'm in the capacity as a coach up here, and I had to go through what Coach Fincham did, the statistics, all that good stuff. but it's kind of neat being up here as a parent, to be on the other side of the table, and to get spend some time to thank people for what they've done for my son and my family. I want to say thanks to God first for the many blessings He's bestowed on our family. You know, He's led us to Western Michigan University, and I feel like there's a deeper purpose there, and hopefully we'll see what that is in the next couple of years here. And so really, you know, Mary and I, we've raised our kids to be God-fearing kids, and so I want to thank the God above. You know, we've said many prayers for this young man, and he's answered all of them. I want to thank Western Michigan Athletics and Coach Double D's up there somewhere. From recruiting Jordan Walker, our first son, for soccer, and now Corey, our experience with Western Michigan has been great. They're really a class act. You know, I can't wait to be watching Western Michigan, whether playing soccer or football, beat up on some Illinois schools like NIU and others. Really really grateful to the folks at Western Michigan. I know Dave Johnson is up there somewhere. Thanks, Principal Dave Johnson. Years ago, a lot of people don't know this, but years ago we had a chance of meeting at a camp over with kids on the lawns of Eastview Christian Church. We got to know each other, and you hired me here at Normal West, and you allowed me to see all my 3 kids grow up, and has allowed me to make an impact on this place. And thank you for believing in me and my family, and all the great memories that the school has afforded us. I invited Mr. Lewis as well. Mr. Lewis was our former AD, just retired recently. Mr. Lewis was great to all my kids. They're all athletes here. It was great for me. I was once coaching 2 sports here, and worked very closely with Mr. Lewis, and his leadership is reflected on athletes like Corey and many other athletes around here. So we're extremely grateful to Mr. Lewis and his leadership, to the athletics department around here. Coach Fincham, you know, you've become more than just a coach to me. You've become a friend. I really confide in you. I trust you as a close confidant. And we've had many of discussions about developing kids and helping kids. And so our relationship, thank you for always being there for not just me, but my kids, and always having conversations about how to make this place a better place and make all our kids, including Corey, better for it. Coach Hess, thank you for accepting Corey. You were the first head coach he had around here, and so your leadership with the football team had an impact on him. I want to say thank you. Colleen is on the board over there. Colleen, the trainer. Athletic trainer. It was some 4 years or more. I was down these hallways, and I got a call that Maya had an ACL in the South Gym. And that is just one example. Every one of my kids, I saw you, whether it be Jordan's growing hip flexor issues or Corey's knee when he had that injury. You're always there for the kids, but more importantly, you're always there for us as parents and our sanity. When you told us what we needed to hear, and you comforted us through all the adversities. So thanks for being there. You always dealt with it with a smile, which was comforting to all of us. I want to thank Coach Antoine Rothman. Many of days down at Tigers Field, not just for football, but also for baseball. You've been a mentor, a role model, an African-American guy, athletic guy who's played football, and as a great family man, you're the kind of guy that I wanted my son to be around. You are much more pleasant than I was, so you did a job for us that You were a role model for Corey, and I will always be grateful for your impact on him. I had my definition of football was around a white and black ball, and you taught him, you introduced him to the real football apparently. Thanks to the many coaches that has impacted his life. I was thinking about this from Midwest Range Soccer with Brad Worth to Cougars football with Gene Demosthenes, Tigers football with many coaches, including Coach Antoine and many others. Thunder basketball and Revolution basketball, Coach Elston, BNB baseball, Renegades baseball and athletics baseball with Coach Stalin and Coach Feely, and Wildcat basketball here with Coach Hafferman and his staff. It really does take a village to develop a kid, and it's not just physical, it's the emotional, it's the social as well. So thank you all. Grandma's sitting here. Thanks for doing everything that you did for Corey. I know he's your favorite grandchild. You don't have to confess.
It'd be a good day to say it.
It would be a great day to say it, right? But one of the coolest stories ever that will always be in my memory is the first day of pre-K. Corey didn't want to go to school, as maybe today, I'm not sure. But anyway, he didn't want to go to school, and you convinced him that the only way he can play football is to go to school. And that was the coolest story that I've ever heard. He jumped up, got in the car, football brought him to school, and football will continue to bring him to school, and it's all because of your doing. So thank you so much for your impact, your calmness, all those ISU games, all those days of playing cards. You meant a lot to Corey. You were a third wheel. We had 3 kids, 3 athletic kids. We couldn't drive. We couldn't be in 3 places at once, and you helped out with the kids. And so much credit goes to you. Seems as if you're always stuck with Corey, but we thank you and appreciate you for that. I want to thank the other kids, Maya and Jordan, because they were pace setters for Corey. Maya was a valedictorian around here. She was an outstanding basketball and volleyball player in this gym, and she was, she really was a hard worker. With many of days at the YWCA, playing basketball with her, and so she really set the pace for all the other 2 kids. And then Jordan is now a Division I soccer player and an engineering student, and so I guess Corey had no choice in the matter. You guys were great role models for him, and I'm sure you'll continue to be good role models and as a resource for him as he takes on this new chapter in his life, the college experience. Last but not least, I want to thank my wife Mary, Corey's mom. She is the real MVP of this family. She's every team has to have what we call a glue guy. She's our glue guy, and she holds this thing together. As a coach, as a teacher, as a guy who has too many irons in the fire, she's really had to be the one that keeps us together. I always joke, and it's not a joke, but I don't know how to write a check in my family. She does, and so she's been, the rock that keeps us sane and the voice of reasoning in our family. Personally, she took a guy from rural Jamaica, a real deep country, and brought him to the United States and believed in the vision that I had for these kids. And she allowed me to lead, and when I pushed them, she didn't push back. She was right there, and the success of our family is reflected in her love and her support. She was the balance in our family. I worshipped many sports, soccer being the main one, but she made sure that God was ever present in our lives. When we had soccer tournaments and football gigs and basketball games, she said, "Are we going to church this Sunday?" And it was hard to say no. So she really was a balance. So thank you. I love you so much. And thank you for all of you who has shared, come and share with Corey's experience. And thanks, guys. And thank you, Corey. Love you, man. You're going to do good.
Sign it.
All right.
First
Sign it.
time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you all for being here. Appreciate you guys showing up. Obviously the ones that are here, but even those of you guys taking the time at home, I know Corey and his family appreciate it as well. So thank you.